Hello folks, my name is Tony Nelson here at the 4th Annual RLCBS. Right now we got Team UW Green Bay doing their warm-up. UW Green Bay will be placing off against the University of Denver, team number 1, here in just a few minutes. So once they're ready, we'll be ready and we'll be going live. So please stand by for a few minutes and enjoy our sponsor review. Alright folks, Green Bay is sorry about that, folks. I had to talk with the other host for a second. But yeah, here we got UW Green Bay facing off against the University of Denver, team number 1 today. Sheet 2, Rice Lake Curling Club, 4th Annual Rice Lake College Brownsville. My name is Tony Nelson. This is my second game commentarying, so hopefully it'll be better than my first game. Alright, Denver has won the toss, so they will start with Hammer. And UW Green Bay chose Red Rock. Lineup for UW Green Bay is lead Matt Weisner, second Josh Heimerl. Vice skip is Phil Huberty, and skip is Kylie Traub. Alright, Matt's up for his first home. Just going for a guard up in the front of the house. Nothing too fancy. Might be a little hot. Sweeper's sweeping a little bit. Switch it over for you. And he ends up bringing it into the top 12. Alright, up for Denver, their lineup. Lead is Heather Cagle. Second, David Boggs. Place is Topher Kittleson. And skip is Vaughn Ferguson. Heather's first shot is on the way. SIC is a little hot as it goes through the house. Alright, Matt's second shot. Let's see what we end up going. Skip Kiley is just calling for a guard on top of the other guard that's already on the center line. Try and protect that one that's in the top 12 foot. Sweepers around him right away. Sweeping all the way down. I know myself as a sweeper. I hate it when I have to do that right away in the game. But as long as you make the shot, it's not as bad. Alright, so Matt ended up throwing zone one guard just across the hog line. Heather's just going for a draw to the button. That looks fairly good. Gonna crash on that top Red Rock guard. And splits the house. Or splits the guard zone. Now that Red Rock that's in front is completely exposed. Alright, David Boggs is up. Sweeper's doing a little touch and glow. We got cleaning going on. Now they're on it hard. And it ends up a few feet short of the house on the right hand side of the sheet. Alright, so now oh, my apologies. This is David Boggs throwing.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Is this going to be a take on the Red Rock? That's in front of the house. Hit and roll. Let's stay. And that actually rolls right behind the guard. That's over on that side. 3/4 of the rock is hidden. So it turned out to be pretty good. Alright, so we got Josh now. They got his name correct this time. This looks like they're going for a draw behind the Red Rock.
Maybe that's what it was.
A little heavy. And it ends up being a back hollow spider on the 12 foot. Alright. Now David. We had our first white ball of the game. All right, now we got Phil from UW Green Bay coming up. So he's just going for a draw. Sweeper's sweeping hard. And he's around the red guard, a little hot. Oh, it's in the back L. All right, that is your lead rock. All right, now we got Tolker Kittleson from Denver coming up. I believe he's just going for a draw. Sweepers are getting the day off on this shot. Just watching it go might be just too hot. Yeah, just a little too much steam on that engine. Alright, Phil's second shot. Now they're just going for a straight draw around the garden front. Alright, plenty of line, just depends on the weight. Now the sweepers are getting on it. Now they're off. And he gets it in there. Draws it in. Has the guard in the front. Looks like Denver's just going to follow it in. Trying to stay right on top of that red one. Plenty of line, but it looks just to be a little too heavy for Topher. So yeah, this is Denver's first game of the tournament. Green Bay was on C4 last night. So trying to get the jitters and the bugs worked out in the first game is always fun. But hey, a weekend at a Bonspiel is sure a heck of a lot better than a weekend at work. Alright, now we got Kylie Traub. Green Bay up her first shot. Looks like she's just going to do it, guard in that front and protect that red rock, or if not, draw down to it. Plenty of line. Depends on the weight. Now the sweepers are getting on it. Rock's starting to curl. Just a little too light. Ended up being a zone, high zone 1 center line guard. I know Vaughn Ferguson is up for his first shot for University of Denver 1 team. Looks like they're just going for a simple draw, hide it behind the guard. Appears to be a little heavy on the weight. Oh, sweepers are getting on it. They're just going to crash on the red guard. They're going to try and make a split of it at least. And there's the crash. Yeah, just a little too light. Now the center line's completely covered up in front of the house. All right, Kylie from UW Green Bay. Her second shot at the end. Just going for a draw. Hide behind that cluster of guards up in front of the house. Okay, plenty of room, a little bit wide. Weight looks to be there, or maybe just a little heavy. Just letting it stand right now, and the Tay team in to sweep it back. All right. Well, right now, red sitting 3 with Yellow Rock. Number 1 with one chance to take one with the hammer. Looks like Vaughn's going for the hit. And Vaughn is way wide in the room. He actually might hit off his yellow one in the front. Oh, crashes. Alright, and that completed ends 1. I'll wait until they post the official score down there before I update it on the web stream here. Alright, Green Bay with their first shot. Ends up being his own 1 guard. Alright, folks, sorry for the break. I just went and informed them that they need to post a score so that way I don't make an assumption online. But Denver coming up, they're going to hit the free guard zone rule. If it leaves a sheet, they'll have to replace it. And it does, so they're going to bring that one back. That's not going to be a good view. Alright, so it's official though that Green Bay got 3 in that first end. Alright, Green Bay with their second shot. It's going for a guard draw, but it's way hot. Law Ferguson is just giving a little extra insurance, which is not a bad idea because I've actually had it at times where the rock's pitched and it's stuck in the back of the house where it shouldn't have even been close to staying. So, good part by Vaughn. Alright, Heather is up. Her shot is a little hot too. It's going to collide with the other one. And again, free guard rule comes into play. Well, the good news is for Denver is that starting on the next rock, they can take that one out of there. They don't have to worry about putting it back anymore. You know, Josh with his first shot. Just gonna wick off the guard. Keeps the other rock, a guard up front, a corner guard's position, and then puts one on the forefoot. I do apologize, folks. For some reason, we cannot get this near-end camera to be unfoggy. It's just something that's got to clear up on its own. So hopefully later today it'll defrost itself. Alright, and Denver just squeezes by missing that red rack on the forefoot. And now Green Bay is just going to go and, try and put a guard up in front of there to protect that forefoot rack. The shot's on its way. Looks like it's got plenty of weight on its own. It's just got to curl and bite, but it's going to come down and come up to it. And it gives the kiss of death on its own red rocks, and now there's a double there. So looking like Bond's trying to figure which way he wants to go at it. Oh, I think he's going for a draw. No, it's got weight, so yeah, he's going for the double, which is a smart call. Leaves the post. Here comes the boom. So you have the single side of the double. Yellow has the biter now on the right edge swole. Green Bay was still shot rock. Alright, now we have Phil for UW Green Bay up. I believe it's his first stone of the end. Yep, first stone for Phil. Looks like Phil's shot might be a little heavier than what Skip Kiley would want. Looks like it's going to come right down to the red rock. Maybe even split it again. Here comes a little tic-tac. And gives up on another double opportunity. Okay, he's giving a little more broom this time than what he did for the double last time, so maybe they're just going for a draw. Nope, it's going for the take again. Alright, doesn't get as much as he'd like, but he gets red rock out of there. Yellow sitting 1-3. Green Bay is setting the second rock shot. And Skip Kiley is just going for the straight take on the yellow rock. For Phil's second shot. Phil's a little narrow on the broom on its way out. Get a hit and roll into his red. Take one of Denver's rocks out and one of his own rocks out. Just getting a little narrow on the broom there. Sweepers tried to keep it lined, but looks like Vaughn is just going for a hit and a stick. Gets to be number 1 and 2. It's got plenty of weight. It's just got to let it curl on its own. I think it's going to have wick at best. And nope, they misses it completely. Vaughn's just having a little bit of trouble figuring out the ice right now. He's giving a little more broom than what you normally would do. And I mean, it's their first game too. It's the second end of the tournament, so it's a lot of head games when you're standing down the house trying to figure it out and keeping your team in the game. All right, it looks like Kylie's just gonna go and split the house, even though she doesn't have hammer. Trying to force Denver into at best getting 1 versus any possibility of getting 2, so throwing another rock on the house. Sweepers are on it hard. Looks like it's going to get by. Yeah, it gets by. The corner guard shot, I know that you folks can't see it, but that red rock that's on the left side there now is easily at least half, covered, maybe to 3/4 covered by a guard that's up in front of the house. So pretty good shot overall. Red's still got 1 and 2. Keeping the pressure on Denver to not give up another big end. Alright, now we have Vaughn and Tolford just figuring out the shot, which best they want to do, option A, B, or C, and not quite sure if Vaughn wants to go for the take again or if he's just going to try and draw or bump or I don't have a clue, folks. Good save by Rachel from Minnesota 1 team in the next sheet from grabbing a rock before it came in onto our sheet here. Good awareness. Okay, it looks like Vaughn wanted to go for a take, but just not the right line, folks. So either too much or too little broom. They'll figure it out. Looks like now that Kylie's just calling for maybe an 8-foot biter or all 12-foot biter. Put another one in play, but also block the center line to try and go for a bigger end against University of Denver 1 team here.
We just ate like 15 minutes ago. Just like stuff. I can't say no to Bubba G. Yeah. It's like homemade soup made from like scratch.
All right, Kylie shot us on her way. Sweeper's going at it right away. It's definitely going to stay at the top end of the house. And you got all 8-foot. Give Green Bay a possibility for 3 at this point. Alright. Denver's Vaughn Ferguson is in the hot seat right now. Last shot at the end. Got to go for trying to take 1 versus giving up 3. And he's just going for a take. He's gonna hit up there. So I think that was a missed call by Fawn. Then again, I'm not out there, so I don't know exactly what they're going to call. So they cut them down to 2. Looks like UW Green Bay stole 2 on that end. And while they're just going to set up a draw, I'm going to update some real quick. Alright, Green Bay's first shot. Looks like it's going to be a nice draw. Ashley gets to be a top 12. Looks like Vaughn doesn't want to have anything to do with it right now. And it's official that UW Green Bay has a lead 5-2 after 2 ends. And Heather's first shot is just a little too heavy, trying to settle down the nerves. Like everybody who's curled has definitely been in that position before. Alright, Green Bay's second shot, just a corner guard. Okay, it looks like Val wants another shot for Heather on that top 12-foot rock. She's hit broom. It looks great. It's just a matter of sweeping for a line.
I feel like I'm just gonna like do everything else.
And she hits it. Takes that red rock out of there. Leaves the guard in front of the house. Something to work with. It appears that it is not biting. Now it looks like Kylie just wants to do a hit and roll over for her second just emerald. Okay, and the shot's on its way. A little narrow on the broom. Sweepers are keeping it up there though. And does a hit and roll. And stays in play all the way on the end of the sheet. Not bad.
That's awesome.
Looks like Vaughn just wants to do a draw behind the corner guard that's up there. Broom looks good. The line looks good. Now it's just a matter if the weight's good. We'll stay in play. Just a little too heavy. Looks like Kylie's just going to go for a split in the house again. Being that Denver's been having a little trouble trying to figure out the ice this first game of their tournament.
I loved it because it was just like so home-like. Yeah.
Alright, Josh, the second shot is in there. Looks like it's at 12.
So you'd be like, okay, either I'm
So Green Bay putting a couple rocks in the house, putting a little more pressure on Denver. Denver's second, David Boggs, my apologies. Just going for a draw. Trying to stick one in there and let everybody in the team breathe a little bit. So he's going to maybe hit that back rod. Oh, hits in little roll, stays in play. No guards all in front of that one, but puts Green Bay down to nothing at this point. Gives Green Bay something to shoot at for Phil's first shot. Looks like they're just going to a draw down and sit in front of it.
You would have to like
Freeze two at best.
It was like 8-12.
Phil looks a little heavy though. A little heavy, a little less weight. That shot would have been just fine with a perfect line. Now Bond's just trying to get a guard up there, protect that yellow rock for Topher.
You try and like sweep it to make it straight and just like still
Topher looks a little disgusted after that. I think he threw it a little heavy.
At one point in time, I literally thought it was just straight drag.
It's just like,
No, it's not terrible. It's not a guard, but it's another rock and play, which Denver really needs at least to get at least two here to bring them back into the game, build a little confidence. Let Green Bay know that they're here to play. Looks like Phil wants to go for the double post, and I don't blame him at all. You know, it's not terribly hard. I mean, if anything, you hit something there, even if you're a little narrow, a little wide. Looks like Phil's a little narrow. He might go for the reverse double. And it looks like he gets it. Yep. He got it. Like originally he was looking for the hit and roll and stay, but he came narrow and they adjusted quick enough to where they can get it on the inside, so now Topher for Denver's up. They're just trying to keep it in play, go for the draw. And Topher's just a little light, leaves his own 2 guard up there. Which for that red rock, that's on the very edge over the house over there. Now there's 2 guards out front, making it a little more difficult to get to. Now for Kylie's first shot, it looks like she's just try and put another one in the house. Nothing too fancy. Sweepers are on it right from the get-go. she does. She splits the house on Denver, keeping them at best to get 1 point. You know, Vaughn and Topher just discussing for a second what they're gonna do.
Good.
Pretty much like plastic, hard plastic top.
I would assume that he would go for a draw and just sit down on top of that red, give himself a chance for 2.
You can see it over there. It's on the table.
And that's what they're going for. I think the broom might have been just a little less than what they needed. The rock is curling pretty hard already. Looks like Vaughn's a little light. You know, if he sets up a zone 1 guard. You know, we got Kylie coming up for her second shot. Just going to put one up and play on the top of the house. All they need right now is a biter. Alright, sweepers get on it about halfway down the sheet.
Had to listen to you for 2 hours. These 2 sheets are going to be
And she draws another one in there. Alright, Green Bay with 3 in the house. Another pressure shot for Vaughn Ferguson from the University of Denver, team number 1. Denver has 2 teams that are curling in this tournament. At least Monster has a smile on his face. I mean, that's always a good sign. Keep it a positive attitude.
Alright, teams that go on 1-4 in the next game. At about 10 minutes to 11, can I get you flip the coins inside?
So for the take.
Get your practice time in at 10 Throw the rocks down and back. That's enough practice. Right? That way we can keep moving.
Threw a long way and didn't really curl much. And it appears that Green Bay is going to get another 3 to tack onto the board. All right, folks, and with that 3 points, Denver is, calling it quits when they're losing 0-8. It's not a bad call. I mean, they just had a rough time trying to figure out the ice right away this morning. But I'd like to take a moment and thank our sponsor, Jimmy John's, for allowing us to help get all our web streaming equipment going. So, next game that I'll be streaming is in a couple hours. So, thanks everybody, and we'll see you back soon.